When extreme weather strikes and neighborhoods are reduced to debris, a bright red cross is often the first visible sign of relief in the chaos. Most people assume this means a massive medical agency has arrived to set up field hospitals and deploy paramedics to pull victims from the rubble. Vehicles like this one reinforce that image. With their emergency lights and red-on-white design, they are frequently mistaken for taxpayer-funded ambulances. In reality, the American Red Cross is a non-profit organization. It does not employ first responder paramedics. Those roles are strictly the responsibility of government agencies. These vehicles are actually designed to distribute food, water, and relief supplies. This raises a logistical question. If they aren't a government branch or a paramedic service, how do they physically manage to arrive at over 60,000 disaster sites every single year? To find the answer, we have to look past the disaster zones and examine the organization's role as a massive supply chain operator for the American medical system. The operation collects, processes, and distributes 6.4 million blood products annually, serving roughly 2,500 different hospitals and transfusion centers. Moving blood at this volume requires a sophisticated scientific hurdle. They use nucleic acid testing, a molecular screening process that detects pathogens like HIV and hepatitis C, to ensure millions of individual donations are secure enough for transfusion. This graphic shows the resulting scale of that pipeline. This single nonprofit provides 40% of the entire blood supply for the United States. Without this decentralized logistical engine, American hospitals would lack the materials required to perform routine surgeries and emergency procedures. That same focus on data-driven logistics applies to their disaster response. Most of us imagine those 60,000 annual deployments are all for major hurricanes or record-breaking floods. This chart tells a different story. The overwhelming majority of those 60,000 responses are actually for hyper-local home and apartment fires. Recognizing this trend, the organization launched a targeted campaign to distribute 3 million devices to high-risk neighborhoods before the fires ever start. By installing 3 million free smoke alarms across the country, they have documented over 2,400 lives saved through early detection. Their most significant impact comes from identifying these everyday domestic risks and mitigating them before they can escalate into tragedies. This raises a secondary paradox. How does a nonprofit manage millions of blood products and tens of thousands of fires without a massive corporate workforce? This pie chart illustrates the composition of the workforce. Unpaid citizen volunteers make up 90% of the entire American Red Cross organization. These volunteers handle the core operational duties, staffing disaster intake desks, managing logistics software, and coordinating relief for families who have lost everything. The demographic of this workforce is also younger than many expect. 25% of these volunteers are under the age of 24. While the organization presents the image of a top-down corporation, it functions as a decentralized network of private citizens acting as a national infrastructure. This citizen-driven model dates back to 1881, when founder Clara Barton adapted the Red Cross concept for the American public. The model was solidified during the 1918 flu pandemic, which forced the organization to rapidly mobilize thousands of local citizens to staff emergency wards in their own communities. That historical blueprint has scaled into the modern era. Local volunteers now coordinate everything from international disaster relief to emergency communication for military families stationed around the world. The organization's primary capability is its ability to leverage individual, local actions to solve systemic emergencies. Because the system is built on 90% volunteer labor, it requires constant, active participation from the public to remain functional. This participation requires a massive physical commitment. 2.5 million citizens must choose to roll up their sleeves and donate blood every year to keep the medical supply chain moving. It also relies on training. Every year, 6 million people step forward to learn CPR and first aid, building a nationwide network of prepared individuals. The Red Cross provides the framework that allows these regular citizens to step in and save their own neighbors. Ultimately, the American safety net only exists because private individuals continuously choose to step forward and be